Hi everyone, thank you for visiting my channel. I really appreciate it. I know there's tons of videos out here on YouTube, so for you to find my video and click on it really means a lot to me. So before I get into my favorite items in my makeup kit, I would like to speak about two products that I received from Influenster. So for those of you who don't know, Influenster is a online company similar to Birchbox, but what's the difference between them is that there is no subscription fee. They actually send you products that you're interested in based on a survey that you fill out, and the products that you receive are not sample size. They're actually full-size products as if you were to purchase these items in the store. So last month what I received from Influence is the new Marc Jacobs liquid lipstick crayon. So I received two, and they come in the shade of Send Me News 300 and Night Mauves in 310. Right now I'm wearing Night Mauves on my lips, but I also lined it with a lip pencil from NARS, no, sorry, not NARS, from MAC in magenta, and underneath the Night Mauve I'm also wearing Maybelline's lipstick in On the Mauve 445. The reason why I did this because I personally have really chapped lips, so even if I exfoliate, put chapstick on it, and drink tons of water, somehow when I wear matte lipsticks, it really like sucks out like the life out of my lips. So what I like about these two lipstick crayons is that it comes in the shape of a actual lip pencil. And with that, it gives you more precision when you put on the lipstick. As far as color payoff, it is pigmented. If I swatch it for you right now, the Night Mauve. It also comes in a retractable pencil, so on the bottom you can pull it up, pull it down. But this is how it comes in. It comes in the shape of a crayon, and you apply it as if you are putting a your lip pencil on, and then you just fill it in. For color payoff, it's pretty pigmented. So this is a Night Mauve on my skin tone. And when you apply it on, it goes on creamy as a satin base, like a satin base lipstick, and then eventually it dries onto a semi-matte feature. And one thing I don't like about it is that it takes a while to dry. If you're a person who likes your lipsticks really matte, it doesn't dry as matte as like the Kylie lip kits or Kat Von D. It's kind of like a semi-matte. So if you're a person who likes super matte lips, you're not gonna like this product. But for me, it was okay. It claims to last over 8 to 12 hours. It doesn't do that. It's after, I would say 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours, it starts to feather off, and then you have to reapply it. For coverage, you may have to apply it on twice. After you line it and fill it in, wait for it to dry at least 10 minutes, and then you may have to reapply it again because I noticed there were some gray areas. So that's why I put the another creamy lipstick on top. Then I put on the Marc Jacobs lipstick. Overall, I will give it, if I had to give it a 5-star, that's my opinion on the Marc Jacobs lip crayon. And I think there's going to be a trend for easier application of the liquid lipsticks instead of having a little brush that usually comes in. I think companies might go to a more innovative, easier way of applying liquid lipsticks. So let's get into today's video. So for today's video, I just want to focus on the items that are currently in my kit that I love to use because it has a good finish payoff, or it makes my job to do a bit easier. So before I proceed with speaking about any of the products that I'm using in this video, I would like to say that I was in no way contacted by these companies. I'm not being paid for these items that I'm speaking about. It is not a review because the items I will speak about majority will be positive, because if I didn't like it, it would not be in my kit. The first item I want to discuss is the Makeup-Designory Disposable Station Mats. Right here. So these are professional station mats that come in a plastic coated towels. So unlike what I see when I go on a project, I do see many makeup artists who brings their own towels. They're either white or black towels to work as their station mats. And the purpose of a station mat is to provide an area where you put the makeup products, but also use it as a protective barrier from the table. So if you have any spills or any mishaps, it goes on the station mat and not on the table that you are working on. But what I don't like about towels is that it collects germs. Even though it might be easier than carry a disposable product, it's not sanitary to me, especially if you are a busy makeup artist. I mean, I do this part-time, but when I do find myself with multiple clients, you don't want to carry the same towel that you use throughout the day to the next client. I mean, not only are you collecting the fallout from products that you're using, you're also collecting germs on the table in which you're placing your towel on. And when you put it back into your bag, I mean, that's even more germs. So I found out that the disposable mat itself, it just avoids that type of issue. And also, since it is there's a plastic protection underneath it, when you have spillouts, you don't have to worry about anything draining through the mat onto the table. So that is one item that I would highly recommend getting into your kit instead of using a towel. I know I went to Makeup-Designory in the New York location, so I'm not advertising it for Makeup-Designory. The reason why I want to talk about this is because it's actually useful. If I don't know the price on the Makeup-Designory disposable mats, and also since I'm an alumni, I do get a discount on it. So I'll put a link to if it's on their site where you can get it. But if you can't find it, this particular brand, you can look on Amazon or any other discount site. And I believe instead of disposable workstation, it's called a nail station mat for those for nail technicians. Another item in my kit that I would recommend everyone getting is the Makeup-Designory disposable paper palette. And it comes in this packaging here. And what it's supposed to do is supposed to act as a replacement to your steel palette, but I don't use it that way. Actually, just take a sheet of the disposable and put it on top of my steel palette. And with that, I can still continue using it as a palette, but it acts as a barrier from my steel palette. And the reason why is that if you're on set or you notice that you're going to do multiple clients, you don't have the time to clean your steel palette in between multiple individuals. You just take this disposable palette, put it on top, and then continue working. And when you're done, all you have to do is throw it away. So if you haven't noticed, if I can find a disposable item, I'll just use that, because not only there's a less increase of transferring of germs, it's easier for cleanup time. Another item that I have in my kit, I mean, it's nothing new, but it's Q-tips. I know for some of you out there, it's like every makeup artist have Q-tips in their kit. That's nothing new. But I recently found out a new technique as to how to use my Q-tips. So I don't know about you, but my nose runs constantly, especially when it's super duper cold. And I found it so annoying that when I feel like the mucus coming out of my nose, that I have to go reach for a tissue and I have to wipe it off, but there's makeup that just transferred onto it. And recently I found out that you can use your Q-tips as a way to just clean off or stop the mucus in its place. So you just take a Q-tip and you just put it where you feel it, and you just wipe off the mucus, and that doesn't disrupt your makeup. I know that sounds kind of disgusting, but it happens to everyone. And if you don't want to like mess up the makeup like around your nose area, and the mucus is not so heavy that you have to get a tissue, it's just a little cleanup, grab a Q-tip. The next products I'm reviewing are from Kryolan. Kryolan did not contact me or send me these products. These products were purchased with my own money, so these are my honest opinions about this particular brand and product line. So the first product I want to discuss is the Kryolan Cake Liner. And if you see here, is actually a eyeliner palette, and the palette that I have here is in standard 1, which comes in the color of black, brown, aubergine, blue, and gray. Now for those of you out there who do not know what is a cake liner, and for cake liner palettes, the way that you use them is that it's activated, the liquid part of it is activated by a liquid. So on a separate, either in a little container or you dab a little bit of water on your workstation area, you dip your brush and then you swash it on the color that you want to use, and then you swash it until you get a consistency of not too watery but not too thick either. And then once you find that consistency, then you apply it on your client. And as far as the liquid that I use, you could use water, but with water, once it's set, it's not waterproof. So if the client cries or if they're on a scene where there's water, it will run. So alongside, when I bought this cake liner, I also bought Kryolan's cake liner sealer. So it helps to activate the liquid, but it acts as a sealer, so it would be waterproof as well. The next product that I have from Kryolan is their Camouflage Creme Dermacolor. And it comes in this palette packaging. And the palette that I have is in Caribbean. And the particular color selection that for this particular palette suits more people of a deeper skin tone. So this is how the palette looks like. Now this particular palette is used for like heavier coverage, so it covers up tattoos, scars, hyperpigmentation. I wouldn't recommend using this on a daily basis. This is ideal for photo shoots, movies or television sets, and bridal bridal events. And in conjunction with this particular palette, it is recommended to use Kryolan's fixing powder. Not only does it mattify the skin texture, it sets the cream and it makes it waterproof. So normally after, especially for tattoo cover-ups, you apply this first, you find the appropriate skin tone, you apply it over the area that you're supposed to cover it, and then you put on the powder, you let it set, and then you would typically you'll airbrush it, use an airbrush machine to airbrush the makeup on top. If you don't have an airbrush or you just don't like using airbrush, you can still use liquid foundation, but I do recommend not to use a foundation brush like a paintbrush. Use more of the beauty blender or use a stiffling brush and you just pat it on the foundation. And I do want to say, make sure that the powder sets. So you don't want to apply the foundation right after you put on the powder. Just give the powder like 1 to 2 minutes, not 3 or 5 minutes. You don't want to bake it in. You just want to make sure that it just sets in for a bit, and then you can apply the foundation over it, and it gives it as if a flawless coverage. When I use other brands to cover up my hyperpigmentation, I noticed that after a while that the shadow of my scars starts to bleed through, and it's not because that the makeup is fading or the foundation is fading. It's just the color correction underneath just didn't work. And with this particular brand, it works. I mean, it sets, it covers it, and when I put the foundation over it, it's as if I never had any scars or anything. So I do really like that. So that's it for today. These are the products that I currently have in my kit that I find very useful. If you have any other tips that you would like to share, please share it in the comment section. I'd like to hear from you to know what tips and techniques that you use or what products you keep in your makeup kit. I will also put up links to other channels of makeup artists that I like to follow.